So, conflicts between families, and especially between their fathers and their sons, has been a common theme throughout the Power universe, and we've seen a constant theme of fathers trying to define their sons' futures and map out the lives for them. But did any of these fathers, past and present, ever think about what their kids want? Now let's rewind it back to Power and take a look at a few examples, because this will give us the foundation and better understanding of Vic and Walter's relationship. Now in Power, Ghost mapped out Tariq's future, always trying to introduce him to connections that he had, and even had Dre teach him some of the club business, and in this case, he was trying to save Tariq from a life of misery, because he didn't want him going through some of the things that he had to do to build his future, because Ghost was someone who stabbed Kanan in the back, killed Breeze, and definitely left the Waco bodies in his way of achieving his dream of owning truth.
What's important is that I want to give you the life I never had, son, the childhood I never had. I want to protect you from the things that nobody protected me from.
But all the neglect, lies, cheating, killing led Tariq to resent his father and do the complete opposite, because this is what kids do. They always believe they know what's best until they actually realize. And in Tariq's case, we're now watching him try to create an exit plan from the game, just like Ghost. But ironically, he found himself having more of a father and son relationship with Kanan instead, because he accepted Tariq for who he was, and even taught Tariq part of the game. But even Kanan had a troubled relationship with his own son, where he wanted him to do better and have a career in ball. But when he knew this was over with his injury, he had him playing the inside man in Ghost's organization, and even allowed him to help when he said he wanted to be the one to seek revenge on Ghost for what he did to Kanan all those years ago. But he wasn't built for the game, nor was he built for these streets. And then we saw Kanan killing his son, and in essence, winning the game of Power when he convinced Tariq that it needs to be him to kill Ghost, which he did. So those are just two examples of troubled relationships in the Power world that we've seen between fathers and their sons. And with Kanan telling us that Sean didn't deserve to be his son, let's bring it back to the timeline of Power Book 4 Force. And does Vic Flynn deserve to be Walter Flynn's son? Or rather, should we be asking, does Walter Flynn deserve to have a son like Vic Flynn? Because Vic has slowly shown the audience that he has all the tools, skills, and mindset to not only run the Flynn family organization, but to advance the business by creating business-based relationships with people that he could have easily had conflicts with. For example, Tommy and Diamond, burying old beasts with the CBI, and not letting Tommy and Gloria's fling get in the way of business and making money. So in essence, we're watching Vic Flynn using one of the principles from the 48 Laws of Power, because to gain his seat at the table, sometimes you have to place yourself at the center of things, because nobody is ever going to give up their crown, and this is what Vic Flynn was doing in this scene.
I've been trying to get my old man to see that the drug game has changed. The way to make real money is to join forces. Fuck the borders, forget race. Sick of waiting my turn.
And he is definitely ready to take over. But the only person who can't see this is Walter Flynn, who's blinded by his traditional mindset when it comes to a few aspects. Firstly, he's someone who's shown us that he's clearly blinded by race. He wants to also run the business his way, because this is the way he likes it, and it's also the way Island wants it. And also tying this back to the beginning of the video, he's trying to map out Vic's life, not just when it comes to business, but also when it comes to his love life. And Walter Flynn feels threatened on both of these levels, with Tommy and Gloria. So when it comes to Gloria, we saw him giving a proposition, which was to be debt-free from the Flynn family if she leaves Vic Flynn. And she was also offered 2.5 million worth of land from Claudia. But the problem is, Gloria seems like she is very strong-willed, and she's beholden to no man or woman from the Flynn family, and all this did was cause more friction and tension, as if there wasn't enough already between Walter and Vic, and this is where he warned his father.
Are you really trying to force my hand, Pop? Want me to choose between her and you? You really that fucking confident?
And would Vic Flynn really choose Gloria over his father? I do think so, because he's someone who's trying to define his own destiny and establish himself as a man. And he knows for as long as he's under Walter Flynn, he will forever be a boy. He also showed how serious he is about Gloria when he bought this bit of land for them, promising that he's gonna build the house that he drew on the napkin. And it is a dream that he's turning into a reality, and he definitely delivered on his promise. All he needed was time. Because as men, sometimes they're in constant battles with themselves, feeling the heavy burden of not being enough, because they want to provide and they want to give their partners or their kids the best life. And this is what Vic wanted to do, and this is why Vic kept asking Gloria for time, because he had to come out from under Walter Flynn's thumb and also prove to Gloria that he can deliver this dream. And this is a battle that Walter Flynn stands no chance of winning against Gloria and Vic's love, because as Uncle Paulie warned him, there are some things that he can control when it comes to his kids, but love is something you can't, and he's still got a chance to make it right with his kids, whereas he doesn't. So that's love. But on a business level, all Walter Flynn is doing is suppressing Vic, while Tommy is trying to pull him up. because he knows that Vic's got the right vision and he's always on the side of money, and he never lets his emotions get in the way of money and business. And Vic Flynn has shown this on a few fronts, for example with Gloria, Diamond, Tommy, and when it came to Simon's death. So let's have a look at these in a bit more detail. Now, we all know how much love Vic has for Gloria, as we just went through, but he also didn't blame her and Tommy for the short fling that they had, because he knew that he wasn't in a position to deliver on his promise. So again, he showed how mature he was, because he could have easily let this affect him in terms of his business relationship with Tommy. But Vic Flynn is someone who's shown us that he's very level-headed and focused on laying down the foundation with his business, knowing that Gloria's heart really lies with him. And this is why I don't believe he was ever worried about Tommy and Gloria, and why he never saw Tommy as a threat. Now, when it comes to business, he's not someone who's blinded by hate, racism, past history, or beef. He's willing to leave all of this in the past to build with Diamond and the CBI. He's also showed he's happy to have Tommy's back and follow his lead when he savagely killed 2 Serbs. And he's also now showed us he's willing to drop his percentage and let the CBI have the extra 1% for the greater good, as well as watching him save one of the CBI boys from almost being shot to death, showing that he's someone who's loyal to those who are loyal to him. So when it comes to loyalty, Simon was his number 2, and Simon's death definitely hurt Vic in this scene, but he knew the consequences that come in this game, and this didn't stop him from moving forward and taking out the Serbs, and we all saw him putting his emotion to the side. Of course, we later saw him remembering Simon, but dealing with his death in a much better way than Jannard did with Elijah's death, because he knows there will be blood and death along the way to the top of the game. So we really are watching Vic Flynn establish himself as a solid leader, who really is focused on building his own business and organization, becoming his own man and delivering on the promises that he made to Gloria. But the Flynn family really is on the cusp of breaking point. Even though we're watching Vic establish himself, there's also Gloria, who's trying to create her own organization, and she's someone who's definitely business savvy just like her brother. But the difference between the two is how we saw Gloria have a complete breakdown after she killed Mai, so this may very well be her first kill, although that's not confirmed. But if it was, then let's see which direction her character goes in, because it very well could push her down a dark path, and let's see how this affects both Vic and Claudia as they fight for the crown of the head of the Flynn family organization. But I'm sure that Walter Flynn won't give this up without a fight. But as Vic's shown, he is ready to take over and he really is becoming one of the MVPs, but only time will tell whether he'll continue to be and whether he'll eventually take over from Walter Flynn. So drop all your comments down below and let me know your thoughts on Vic's character development so far. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time.